I mean, it's amazing to think, like, why do we ever stop? Like, unlike weight training, where I can't do a 500-pound deadlift. I just can't. I could train for it, but I certainly can't do a 600-pound deadlift. I can't do that. What causes us to stop an endurance event is usually not a physical barrier. It's almost always a purely mental barrier. And that's a very interesting problem. I mean, neuroscientists don't tend to think about those sorts of problems because it sounds so non-neuroscientific, but that's fundamentally related to the question of, what is pursuit? What is the desire to push and to carry on? I think the closest thing is this paper from Genelia Farms, the Howard Hughes campus, showing that if you put animals into a simulated environment where you can measure their effort, the forces on while they're running, and you can look at and you can control the visual environment, and you can create a scenario where the animal thinks that its output is futile. It thinks it knows it's running and it's actually running, but you change the frequency of the stripes going by in their visual world such that they think they're not getting anywhere, and eventually they quit. And the thing that determines whether or not they quit is a threshold level of epinephrine in the brainstem. If you drop that level back down, or you give the animals dopamine, essentially, they keep going. If you take dopamine down, they're like, this isn't worth it. It's helplessness. This isn't worth my time and energy. So if you're in that moment, you're going to need a kit of things to pull from. So you can think, this is in honor of someone else that passed away. And you will find a gas reserve that's amazing, right? Now, whether or not mice are like, I remember my brother back in the other cage when I was a little mouse, you know, we don't know. But it's very likely that they don't do that, that they're so present, they're in the experience of there and then and now, that they aren't able to extract from the past, and they're not able to project into the future, like how great it's going to feel when I get to the end of this really lame VR corridor. I don't think they think about that.
And think about, like, if I quit now, how will that have, what kind of effect will it have on the rest of my life in the future difficult times? Like, if you allow yourself to quit in this particular moment, you'll become a quitter more and more in life, and then you're going to not get the other nice, the opposite sex mammals.
That's really it. I mean, our ability to time reference in the past, present, or future. I do believe that we can be in the present and the past, or the present and the future, or only in the present, or only in the future, or only in the past. But I don't think that we can really think about past, present, and future all at once. And this has a similarity to covert attention. Like, we can split our visual attention into two things. We really can duo task, even though we can't multitask so well, or we can bring those two spotlights of attention to the same location. But it's very hard to split our attention in really well into three domains, into three domains. I think that that's very, very challenging. And our time referencing scheme tends to be just one or two time references.